Welcome to this morning's group healing session, which I am really delighted to be sharing with you today. Christmas can be a really difficult time for many people. The stress of trying to get everything ready, family dynamics, feeling overwhelmed, the stress of finances. If you've lost a loved one, it can really bring up the pain of that. And also, if you are alone at this time of year, it can be incredibly painful. And so these group healing sessions are an amazing way to be able to just reset yourself before we actually enter into the busyness of Christmas Day, Boxing Day, family. So, just a little bit about these group healing sessions and how they work. So, I've been doing this work for 17 years and I am trained in energy medicine. And energy medicine really is looking at how our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, and also the memories, even our ancestral memories, are stored in the electromagnetic field of the body. And that when you're holding that energy, then it can be influencing the cells in your body. So, for example, your nervous system is going to be more activated if you are holding the belief that perhaps I'm overwhelmed or I'm stressed or I don't have enough time or I'm lonely or I'm not loved. And that belief will also be having an impact perhaps on the heart energy, which then may stop the heart energy from being able to radiate in a harmonious way through the whole body mind, which then may have an impact on your digestive system. And then your digestive system isn't working so well, and then you start to get stomach pain or you have a food allergy. So we're always looking at how the mind is having an impact on the physical body and how we cannot separate these two, that there is an intertwining of these two that are happening all the time. And whether, even if we have a physical health condition, then, that we can actually trace the root back to perhaps an ancestral energy or a belief that you took on from your mother in fetal life or an emotion. So, what we want to do today is just take whatever it is that's showing up in the field. So, as a group, we are creating a group energy field or a group aura, and in that group energy field is held the information that is ready to shift. And the shifts happen by through your subconscious. So I'm not making anything happen here. What I'm doing is that I am just tuning into the energy field. I'm picking up the information that is out of balance, and then you're going to do the tapping. So you're going to be shifting yourself, and you're going to be tapping over the head and the heart to shift whatever it is that's you're ready to let go of. And that's really determined by your subconscious. So even if something doesn't resonate with you, I want you to tap it out, because sometimes we might not be able to latch onto that with the conscious mind, but actually on a subconscious level, the body's like, yep, I know what that is. I'm going to let it go. And the subconscious is subtle, but the subconscious really has an influence over about 90% of what gets played out in our life. And so we want to work with the subconscious. And then by working with the subconscious, what we're doing is we're actually bringing the subconscious programming into the conscious, and then we're shifting and changing it. You don't need to remember anything that I'm saying today. You're going to be absorbing it on a cellular, energetic, subconscious level. You're going to be tapping it out, and the shifts will happen over a period of time. So you might notice something happening straight away, but you might also notice that that happens over a few days. That maybe the stress just comes down. Maybe you just start to feel more relaxed in yourself. Maybe you notice that that aunt that really triggers you is actually less triggering this Christmas. All of these little things are the subconscious at play, shifting and changing the programming so that you start to respond differently to your environment. Because ultimately, we can all be in the same environment, but we can all be reacting differently. So we can all have the same experience, say, for example, that, we're all in the same room, and, that there's the same thing that's happening for all of us. Because of our nervous system, because of our childhood, because of our beliefs, because of our emotional patterns, we're all going to be responding to that differently. So it's really about you really trusting that your subconscious knows what it is that you're ready to let go of. doing the tapping, doing the breathing, just engaging as much as you can and just allowing the process to happen. And I would really, really love to get your feedback. So let me know how you get on, how you feel after this session. And you can come back to this session again and again over the Christmas period if you need a little top up. So if you're feeling like you're really losing the balance of your mind, try and find a quiet space to just sit and again breathe, do the tapping, absorb the energy of whatever it is that we're shifting, and it will help you. So the first thing I want to do is just teach you a technique that comes from this system, and it balances the two sides of the brain. So when we're stressed, we often lose the balance between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and we also lose the connection between the brain and the body. And what this technique does is it helps to connect the two hemispheres of the brain. We're calming down the amygdala, which is the fight flight response. We're helping to ground your energy and connect to the body. And this then will help the healing. So the way that we do this is just get your hand, it doesn't matter which one, bring it at the back of the head so that your thumb is in the nape of your neck. And we're going to breathe in and out, close your eyes. Breathing in, breathing out, just connecting the two sides of the brain. And then breathing in and out, tapping over the heart, calming down the amygdala, the fight flight center. And then over the abdomen, calming down your nervous system. And then we're going to go move the hand to the next position. So where your little finger is right now, move your thumb. And so you're just moving one hand up the back of the head. And then again, tapping, breathing in and out. That's connecting the two sides of the brain. And then breathing in and out, tapping over the heart. Calming down the amygdala. And then over the abdomen. Deep breath in and out, calming down the nervous system. So you can just be thinking the intention for each one. And then we're going to move again. So where the little finger is, you're going to move your hand and then breathing in and out, tapping, connecting the two sides of the brain. And then tapping over the heart, calming down the amygdala. And then over the abdomen, calming down your nervous system. Okay, then we're going to the next position. So we're all going to have different size heads. So if you're a little bit behind me, don't worry, just keep going. Breathing in and out, tapping. And connecting the two sides of the brain. Breathing in and out, tapping over the heart. Calming down the amygdala. And then over the abdomen. Calming down your nervous system. Okay, all the way down to the eyebrows. Breathing in and out, tapping. Connecting the two sides of the brain. Breathing in and out, tapping over the heart. Calming down the amygdala. And over the abdomen. Calming down your nervous system. And bringing your hands either side of your head. And just taking one hand away, breathing in and out, tapping. It's connecting across the whole brain. So you're imagining all the neurons across your whole brain communicating, connecting up. Got happy neurons. And then we're going to tap over the heart. Just thinking about calming down the amygdala. It's like the alarm bell of the brain calming down. And then over the abdomen, calming down your nervous system. And then we're going to swap to the other side, breathing in and out, tapping. Just connecting across the whole brain, seeing all of those neurons communicating, connecting, breathing in and out, tapping over the heart, calming down the amygdala over the abdomen, calming down your nervous system. And then holding either side of the head, just seeing that flow of energy and information all the way up the spinal cord to the higher center of the brain, from the higher center of the brain all the way down the spinal cord. So just imagining that energy, information flowing both directions. So this technique's called cortices. So hopefully that you'll just start to feel more grounded, more here, more relaxed. This is a brilliant technique to do over the Christmas period. If you forget everything else, do this technique. Just take a few moments, go to the toilet, lock the door, and then do this technique, and it just will bring you back. So the second technique that I want to show you is called switching. So we do these techniques together. You can do them separately, but together they're really powerful. So the cortices technique is balancing the brain and getting the brain and the body connected. And the switching technique, this is to reset your nervous system. So when you're feeling stressed, what tends to happen is that our capacity to deal with stress goes low. So we might panic, we might hyperventilate, we might shake, we might get snappy or angry, we might cry, we might not be able to think straight, we might get confused. Any of those things will be indicating that you are in a switching state. So you want to do this technique after the cortices. And what it will do is just reset the nervous system so that your capacity for stress comes back up to normal, which means that you can then manage all the things that are going on around you. So, what you're going to do, if you're wearing contact lenses with this one, you're just going to look down. So, make sure I don't smudge my mascara. So, you're going to hold over the eyes with one hand over the eyelids, and then you're going to hold these dips. So, it can be a bit tricky to find. This is your collarbone. I want you to come to the end of your collarbone, and then I want you to just come down about half an inch. So you can see that my fingers are not really wide. A lot of people go too wide with this technique. It really is, you're at the end of the kidney meridian, and you'll know that you've got it because it can feel tender. It feels tight, it feels tender. You know, most of us are holding a certain level of stress. So just holding that, massaging those dips. Then you're going to bring your hands over your eyes if you're not wearing contact lenses. Just pressing on the eyelids just so that you see a change of color. So you might see a change of shade, or so you just want to like just stimulate. We're stimulating the brain through the eyes here. And then you take your hand away, breathing in and out, tapping. And you're just thinking about resetting your nervous system to deal with stress better. And then breathing in and out, tapping over the heart and bringing your threshold for stress up to normal. And then over the abdomen. And resetting your nervous system to deal with stress better. And then come back to the eyes, pressing on the eyelids until you see a change of colour. And then again, breathing in and out, tapping. So massaging the dips. We're tapping over the head, breathing in and out, just thinking about resetting the nervous system so you can deal with stress better. Tapping over the heart, we're thinking about bringing our stress threshold up to normal. And then over the abdomen and resetting the nervous system to deal with stress better. And then it's relaxing. So drop me a comment in below this video. It'd be great to hear how you feel after those two techniques. And also it'd be really good if you're live to just drop a comment. Maybe there's something that you're struggling with that you would like to include in this group healing today. For those of you that are watching the recording, you're still going to get the benefit. So still engage with deep breathing and tapping, because there is an energy imprint from this healing session that's in the recording, which means that when you watch it, you're still receiving that healing energy, even though it's in the future. That's the wonderful thing about energy medicine. It really isn't bound by time and space. I can do these sessions to anyone in the world, which is really wonderful. Okay, so I'm just going to check and see if I've got any comments at all. Okay, so I'm going to start the healing session. If there's anything that comes up in the middle of it, please just drop me a comment, and I can include that. But we're really focusing on stress and overwhelm. I had a comment also from somebody earlier in the week to do with grief and loneliness and fear also coming up at this time of year. So we're just drawing all of that energy into this healing session, everything that is in the group field that's ready to shift. And you can lie down if you need to, or stay sitting up, whatever works for you. So we're going to the mind first of all. We're going to an emotion. And it's actually the emotion of anger. So anger is so every emotion has a virtue, and the virtue of anger is to put down boundaries, to express what it is that you need, to be able to use that energy of anger to be able to move forward. So maybe there's a situation that you don't like or something's happening, and you want to put down a boundary and say, actually, this is not working for me. Or maybe over the Christmas period, you need to say, actually, I need to go and take some space, or I need to go and walk my dog, or I need to go and take space in nature. So it's about using the energy of anger rather than suppressing it, is about moving into a healthy relationship with that, because then we can move forward and then we can feel empowered. So I'm going to just look up and see like exactly what it is that we're going to focus on here. So just bear with me because I have some charts on my phone that I was going to look up. So what's relevant for this group healing today? So it's coming up as irritability. So maybe you're feeling snappy. It's also coming up as depression. So when anger is not expressed, then it can show itself as depression. So we want to just clear that so that it's an energy that moves. Also, passive aggression. So, if we're not able to speak our needs or to say what it is that we want, then it can come out sideways. So, we want to just transform all of that into a healthy relationship with anger. And its flexibility. So when we hold a lot of anger in the body mind, it can show itself as tension, physical tension, pain in the body. So we want to bring flexibility through the tissues, through the tendons, through the ligaments of the body, but we also want to be able to think flexibly about a situation. So again, it's like saying, actually, I need to just take some space, or I'm going to go for a walk, or whatever that may be. Also compassion. And, often we can be very compassionate to others, but what about the compassion for ourselves? So, first and foremost, like really holding yourself kindly, that it's okay to have your needs and to be able to express them. Okay, so we're going to move to the next thing, to the mind. There's a belief. So, let's just see what this belief is. And the belief is, I can't express myself, or I can't express my needs. So again, if you can't relate to this, we're still going to tap it out, because the energy, it's like there's an energy signature in the words. And although the belief may not exactly fit with the belief that you hold, your subconscious will be able to feel the resonance of that energy, and it will shift it. Okay, so we're going to go to an organ. We're going to the heart. So the heart is where the Atman resides, our higher consciousness. And often we shut our hearts down if we feel stressed, if we feel tense. So let's just see, what do we need to focus on here? And it's love. And it's not love, not our human construct of love. It's actually the love that is from the higher heart chakra. So the higher heart chakra resides where your thymus gland is, where your immune system is, your T cells. And so our immune system is very much relating to our self-esteem, how we feel about ourselves. So the higher heart chakra holds the energy of compassion, gratitude, love as a state of being. So this love isn't conditional, it's not based on anybody doing anything. It's really a vibration. And that vibration is about acceptance of what is. So, we might not like something, mean that we may not want it, but we can come into an acceptance of it. And when we're in it to an acceptance of it, then actually that energy transforms. And then we start to open the space of something different coming in, or the space of miracles. So that's the next thing that we need to anchor. Okay, so this is what we're going to tap out. So my invitation to you to really engage is to breathe and to tap. So tapping over your head, tapping over your heart. So first of all, we're transforming anger, irritability, or depression into flexibility, into compassion. And also, we're clearing passive aggression as well. So, the distortion of the anger into more balance, into that flexibility, being able to think flexibly in around a situation, or feeling more flexible in our bodies, feeling compassionate, kindness to ourselves, letting go of the belief that I can't express myself, or any kind of derivative of that belief, just letting that go. So beliefs are just thought patterns that we hold then, and they hold a strong energy field that then influence the way that we perceive life. So we want to let go of that energy. We don't need to hold it. This could be an ancestral belief. We don't need to hold on to that. And instead, we're coming into the energy of the higher heart chakra, that love, that state of being, of accepting what is, that space of miracles. So just deep breaths as you're tapping. You don't even need to remember the words, you're just absorbing the energy, and your subconscious will do all the rest. Okay, that's good. And then relaxing. So just taking moments. So after we've tapped out, as the energy starts to shift, we just need to give ourselves just a little bit of time. So you might notice tingling or prickling sensations in the body. This is just energy moving. So just breathing, just allowing. So yawning is a really good sign that energy is shifting. Tummy gurgling is also, that may not happen. It doesn't mean the energy is not shifting. Just for some people, it shifts straight away. For others, it just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so here's the next thing. Okay, this time we're going to do a clearing. We're going to clear from an endocrine, and it's the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is the master hormone gland. So it's there to regulate all the other hormones. So if you've been holding a lot of stress with the lead up to Christmas, or if you've had a history of trauma, then the whole hormone system can be dysregulated. So we want to do a clearing of the pituitary, because actually the pituitary can be holding beliefs or emotions, thought patterns. Let's see what's there. There's an emotion. There's grief. We want to clear the grief. There's also anger, and also fear. Okay, so we're going to clear all of those three emotions, and then we're linking down. We're linking to an organ. Okay, to the heart. And details on the heart once again. We want to bring in more peace. World peace starts with us. The more that we can develop that inner peace, the more that we can radiate that out to others. What else? Self-love. Keep coming back to holding ourselves kindly during this period. Okay, if you're a visual person, my invitation to you is to visualize the pituitary gland. Now, the pituitary gland is like a little sac. It actually looks like a testicle sac, and it hangs down from the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus is an area of the brain which also sends signals to the hormones. So you've got the hypothalamus in front of the brainstem that's like a kind of triangular shaped brain structure, and underneath the pituitary gland dangles down like a pair of testicles. So if you're visual, you could imagine that pair of testicles, your pituitary gland, being filled with a colour. And you can then visualize that color dissolving with water or light or fire, or something else, anything, and any kind of element that works for you. If you're not visual, please don't worry because the energy is still going to shift through intention. So you can just hold the intention that we want to clear the grief, the anger, and also the fear from the pituitary gland. And I'm also very visual. I'm also going to be holding that intention as well. So again, we're tapping. Taking some deep breaths, just tapping over the energy field of the head and over the heart. And if you feel to, if you're visual, just imagining the pituitary gland clearing that grief, that fear, and the anger. Otherwise, just setting the intention for your body to do the clearing. It has the wisdom, it knows what to do. We're just giving it instructions. The body's always looking for homeostasis. So we're clearing the pituitary, and then we are balancing the heart for more peace and for more self-love. And then just relaxing the hands. So just letting that energy move through you. Whatever it is that you're feeling, just let it happen, let it move. So if you're feeling emotional, that's really fine. Just let that happen. We want the emotions to come up and out. We don't want to be holding on to that. So you're downloading. So again, sometimes we just need to give the body mind a bit of time just to regulate, to move that energy and integrate. So sometimes there can be a short pause, sometimes there's a bit of a longer pause. So we just need to be patient. Hopefully that you're starting to just arrive and to be feeling a little bit more present, a little bit more grounded and in your body, like a weight is lifting. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come to in connection to oneness. Oneness is our essence. We live mostly in our limited mind of all of these thoughts and these limiting beliefs that actually take us away from from our oneness, from our essence. And the oneness is that part of us that knows that we're supported and looked after in each moment, in each breath, in each step that we take in our life, even though things may be happening that we don't like. It's like that's that knowing, it's like it's okay, I'm held in this moment. Everything is working out for me, even if you're going through adversity, which can be really hard when you're in it. Um, but the when you're connected to that part of you, that inner resource that really holds and knows that you're supported, you can let go. There's a surrendering. There's much more ease. There's a sense of inner freedom in yourself. So we want to just come back to that essence, that part of us that knows that we're supported, because we need this at this time when we're overwhelmed or we're in pain. Um, we're going to an organ, and we're going to the pericardium. The pericardium is the heart protector. Anatomically, it's a piece of skin that is around the heart that protects the surrounding tissue from getting too hot. On a psycho-emotional level, the pericardium is like the armoring around the heart, like I need to protect myself. I'm going to get hurt, therefore I need to shut my heart down. So we create this tension around the heart, which means then we can't feel the joy, we can't feel the love or the sense of freedom. Everything's locked in, and then we start to feel tense. So we want to just work with the heart protector and bring it more into balance. Let's just see. So with the heart protector, we don't want to be so wide open that we're porous. We need to have boundaries, particularly if we're around people over Christmas that we find tricky. So we want the heart protector to be in balance. When it's appropriate, we can have our heart open. When it's appropriate, we can be more boundaried, but we don't want it just to be shut down all the time. So this is what we're going to bring into balance, the heart protector. And also particularly in the relationship with others. Okay, so I want you to bring your hands just over your heart chakra. So both of them over the heart, and then we're going to um just connect first of all to that oneness. So it's an expansive energy. It's an energy which carries us, which supports us. It's like we're handing over to something greater than us, really feeling that or imagining it, if you can't feel it right now. And then tapping, taking some deep breaths. So we're coming into connection of who we really are, that feeling of being supported and knowing that everything is working out for us, even though it might not seem like it right now. Handing over the pain, handing over the suffering, or whatever it is that we're feeling, coming into a place of more ease in ourselves. When we can hand over to something bigger than us, there's a liberation. We can connect to our inner state of joy, which is not connected to anything on the outside. And then we're bringing the pericardium into balance. That heart protector, knowing when we need to be open, when we need to be more boundaried. And we're not doing that from our conscious mind, it's coming from the subconscious. We don't need to work it out, it's just going to happen naturally for us. Yeah, that's really good. Sorry, I'm getting really emotional during this, which is a good thing. If you're feeling emotional, just letting it all come up. Just breathing, just allow that energy to move through. Emotions, they're just energy in motion. We just want to move them. We don't want them to be stuck. That's when we get sick. It's feeling that coming back to the heart. The resource, that inner resource is here. Okay, so we're coming to a belief. And the belief is life is overwhelming. How many of us are feeling that right now? Okay, we are doing a clearing again, somewhere in the body mind. An endocrine again. This time it's the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus is a part of the brain that then sends messages to the pituitary. So it has a direct influence again on all the other hormones. And we want the hypothalamus and the pituitary to be working together in order for us to feel in harmony and to feel regulated and to feel calm. So let's just see like what is it that we're holding in the hypothalamus. Okay, we've got some thought patterns. So thought forms, again, these are patterns of thought, usually habitual patterns of thought, which again build an energy field that then influence us and can keep us stuck. So let's just see what are they. Okay, so it's affliction. So the this is about the state of being in pain. So, for example, there may be thought patterns like, I can't handle this time of year, or this is too much for me, or my grief is too much to bear, or anything like that is comes underneath that kind of bubble of affliction. So we want to clear that. It's like an umbrella term then for all of those thought patterns that are going to be in it. Okay, we're also clearing despair. Also clearing doubt, failure. You know, if you've got something going on around having to be perfect at this time of year, or your house looking perfect, or having to serve the perfect food, or getting the perfect gifts, it's about just clearing that program so that you can relax more. Also, fragility. So if you're feeling fragile, like all the internal chatter or program around that. And so we're going to tap this out in the same way. So again, if you are a visual person, you can visualize a triangular structure in front of the brainstem that is holding a color that represents all of these different thought forms. If you're not visual, it really doesn't matter because the energy is still going to shift. But for some people, it's really helpful to have that visualization. Okay, so we're going to tap. So tapping over the head, tapping over the heart, we're just tapping in the energy field. Taking some deep breaths, we're clearing the belief that life is overwhelming. And then we're clearing these thought forms from the hypothalamus of affliction, despair, doubt, failure, fragility. So, however those thought forms manifest for you, just letting that go. Just letting that go, just let that energy move through. That is all we're going to do today. I really hope that this is a resource for you and you can revisit this, over the Christmas period as many times as you need. And if you can't get to it, it means you don't need it. The energy of this session will continue to move through over the next days, week or so, and just really allowing that to anchor. So drink lots of water today, I'm sure, in between mulled wine, but really taking care of yourself. And if you've enjoyed this healing session, then just to let you know that in January, I am launching my new 3-month program around clearing blocks around prosperity and wealth, and how you can really transform these blocks, this ancestral programming, these karmic blocks, the vows, contracts, limiting beliefs, emotions, spells or curses that may have been put on your family, clearing all of that so that you can really step into alignment and walk your soul path, which is one of joy, one of ease, one of freedom for 2026. We're going to be doing a powerful combination of Kundalini yoga and also group healing sessions. If you would like the details of that, I'm going to post the comments underneath this video, and I'll be posting about that in the group. For more details, just click on the link. And for those of you that are watching on Zoom, if you want more details about free group healings and also live meditations, join my Facebook group, The Golden Light with Jodie Palcour. I'm sending you so much love this Christmas, and I really, really hope that this session holds you. Much love.